Welcome in, Culotta and the Prince, the vlog here on this Thursday edition as the Prince is pumping out work here on this Thursday morning.
Content.
Handed away two pairs of tickets to see Taylor Swift this weekend with a big concert inside Tiger Stadium. Thought one of our better promotions, Prince.
Well, thank you very much. I think that we did a really good job there. Look, I'll say this. Brad Myers was the first one, and he won. And it wasn't because he was the first one. He actually was the best one. And then the anonymous user who had his young daughter played to it pulled on the heartstrings of one James' chest hair. And I think that at the end of the day, that was enough to win that second set. Chest hair's enjoying himself over there. Come over here, chest hair.
Let me get in on this.
Come in here. Very vital.
So which
vital
swayed
part of Culotta and the Prince is the chest hair.
What swayed the votes?
You know what, guys? I am a sucker for, cuteness, things that are adorable.
Who isn't?
And, when you have your daughter, I'm assuming that's the anonymous user's daughter, in the huddle singing a Taylor Swift song. I mean, that's great. And that's utilizing your resources. If I had a daughter, which I'm pretty sure I don't, I'll have to check on that. I'm pretty
Don't speak in exacts.
sure. I'm not all about numbers and exact figures here, but anytime,
Percentages say no.
Yeah, anytime though that you can utilize your resources, I think that was very creative. So congratulations to all the people seeing T Swift.
This was the first time we really utilized the where the listener can leave audio in the huddle. Do you think that after this promotion that we may continue to utilize that feature? Is there some other way that we can develop that feature as a kind of a staple of Culotta and the Prince?
Yeah, well, we've messed with it a little bit in previous months, but I don't think there hasn't been anything quite like this. So I definitely think we'll use it more coming up, and especially, if you guys are in the huddle and are just getting tired of typing, some of you guys don't know how to type. There's a lot of misspellings, and you just want to say it. You can leave a voice memo too. So I'm pretty sure that we'll see more of that. And then I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will probably like singing their audition tapes as well of them singing random things.
Well, and what's the have a take, don't suck, right? That's what you're supposed to do?
Absolutely, yeah. That's a motto that everyone should live by.
So you breaking the news of Moscona this afternoon, 3-6, that he was not the winner of Taylor Swift tickets?
Yeah, that'll be an awkward conversation. Moscona did not win the contest. So I'll have to have that weird discussion this afternoon.
Wow, back-to-back days of weird discussions.
I'll make sure his mic is on, though. So,
good game today, Jamie.
All right, guys.
Great show.
The man.
Good job.
Great game.
Good job, chest hair.
All right, Andy Cannizzaro stopped by and talked about LSU's comeback win. Tigers down 5 runs twice last night, Prince. 5-0 after the first, then 8-3 going into the fourth. They explode in the fifth inning. Coach Cannizzaro, obviously the offensive guy. He's the hitting coach. Last night you said the broadcast guys were calling him the offensive coordinator. How much credit do you give him for where they are at this point in the season?
I think there's a lot of things that have really added up to this. I certainly Javi Sanchez did a really good job of developing recruiting those guys. Yeah. Really, the number of athletic guys there are on this roster. We talk about this all of the time, but just a few years ago they had to put Mason Katz in center field. That's
super regional.
Super regional. A game to go to Omaha. That's how low the athleticism was. Mason Katz is a good baseball player,
but not his natural position.
No, you got a guy who's a major league center fielder playing right field for you right now.
Right.
You got a guy who could play center field for just about every team in the country, and Chris Chambers, who's just DHing for you. That's where the level of athleticism is with this team. And when you have better athletes, you have better baseball players, you constantly put pressure on the opponents defensively. And I think that's been something that's been a key with this year, because as guys get singles, they turn those singles into doubles into triples, and this team has an inside-the-park home run with Laird. Yeah. That's the level of athleticism that you have. And when you're able to get runners on and you force the defense to play perfectly, it allows you to have these big innings where you can mount a comeback like this. Like, as you mentioned, twice down 5 runs to come back and win. They're going to have their work cut out for them with Arkansas tonight. This is a very hot team that they're playing in Arkansas. Very interested to see after Arkansas has to have a comeback to win late last night against Florida. Arkansas, by winning, gets the better end of the stick, no doubt about it, because by losing, Florida has to play it's gonna be less than 12 hours between games for them by the time they're back on the field today to play against Auburn. So what you're looking at, big picture here for LSU, is if Austin Bain's able to go out and give you another quality start like he has the last game, quality appearance against Missouri, coming in for relief against Kyle Bowman. If you're able to do that, it sets you up really nice for the rest of the weekend. Win today, you're in good shape. We know that, well, we think that they're a national seed. I don't think they have to win the SEC tournament to be one of the top 2 or 3 seeds in the NCAA tournament. But I think that Paul Maneri is a guy who loves to play for championships, and he's going to do everything he can to win. He's not going to rest on his laurels and say, we've already accomplished enough to be a national seed.
You think Bain comes out off that strong performance against South Carolina? You really called it last time going into it and expected the freshman to respond when he was moved up in the rotation. Now he'll get the ball tonight versus Arkansas.
Yeah, and again, you look back at it, the last couple of starts for Austin Bain, and then, of course, the appearance in relief. His stuff's been there. Mm-hmm. He's got the stuff. It's just, defense, other things, you have to make sure it's all there for LSU. You look at it last night, the walks early, a couple of miscues defensively, those add to the overall situation there. If Bain comes out, throws strikes, keeps it down in the zone, I like where he's going to be able to do for LSU. I've said this before. He played for Scheck-Snyder at Dutchtown. I know that he knows the game. I know that he's a mentally tough kid. He is as prepared as any player to come in here and participate at this high level as a true freshman. And his stuff has gotten to the point in time where I think he's got confidence in what he's doing. I look for Bain to have a good game again tonight.
Austin Thomas, Director of Player Personnel with LSU Football, stopped by for the second time in about 3 weeks. We had tried to get him on for the first 7 months that we were on air. Finally have a chance to talk to him here on the regular. Now you get an idea of kind of behind the scenes, the part that the evaluation periods and how these guys kind of crunch the numbers, make the big board, and start to attack the guys that they like to hand the scholarships out.
Yeah, again, if you didn't listen to the interview with Austin Thomas, it's worth your time to go download the podcast and listen to it, because there are a couple of things that he explains, things that we talk about all the time. The importance of camp, how they set the board, what the coaches do when they go out on the road. I think those are things that kind of peek behind the curtain. That's just, for guys like you and I, we eat that up.
Right. Now, look, next on the schedule for LSU football will be the Bayou Picnic. Not this weekend with the big concert in town, but it'll be the following weekend on campus.
And they usually would do the Bayou Country the Bayou Picnic the same weekend as the Bayou Country Superfest. But this year, with the schedule being the way it is, and Memorial Day being up a week in the schedule, they weren't able to put it on the same weekend because they didn't want to take the coaching staff off the road with some of the other things that are going on.
7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Culotta and the Prince. Follow us on Twitter at 1045 ESPN.